Hello dear students, good morning. Just now you listened the musical sounds produced by two air-blown instruments. You are familiar with these two instruments. This is a flute, which is an example of pipe which is open at both the ends, and this is the clarinet here, which is almost closed at one end. Now the length of the pipes is nearly same, but the sweetness of the sound differs. You might have noticed it. Now what must be the reason? The reason lies into the modes of vibrations of the air column, the harmonics and overtones present in the sound produced by the musical instruments. So, let us make the air column vibrate and find out the reason for that. But before making the air column vibrate, let us discuss about the end correction. You can see these two diagrams in which we have considered the pipe which is closed at one end and the pipe which is open at both the ends. Now when an air column vibrates either in a pipe closed at one end or open at both ends, boundary conditions demand that there is always an antinode at the open end or open ends, since the particles of the medium are comparatively free near the open end. And a node at the closed end. So you can see the node is formed here, since there is hardly any freedom for the particles to move. Now you can see here, in case of pipe which is open at both the ends, antinodes are formed at both the ends. But the antinode is formed not exactly at the open end. You can see in the diagram, it is formed slightly above the open end. Now what is the reason? See, the air particles has a finite momentum inside the pipe. So air is more free to vibrate near the open end in comparison to the air inside the pipe. Also, as air particles in the plane of open end of the pipe are not free to move in all directions. Here they are not free to move in all directions. The reflection takes place at the plane at small distance outside the pipe, as you can see here. So antinodes are formed a small distance outside the pipe. So the length of the air column is not equal to the length of the pipe, but it is a small distance more than that. So this distance, the distance between the open end of the pipe and the position of the antinode, is called as the end correction, as it forms near the ends of the pipe. Now how to find out this end correction? According to Reynolds, to the first approximation, the end correction at an end is given by small e, which is equal to 0.3 times d, where this small d is the inner diameter of the pipe. So this small d is the, see, this is the small d, inner diameter of the pipe. Thus the length L of the air column is different from the length small l of the pipe. So in order to find out this capital L, which is also called as the corrected length, we have to consider the small l, that is the length of the pipe, as well as the end correction. Let us discuss the end correction in case of the pipe which is closed at one end. You can see here the node is formed at the closed end and antinode slightly above the open end. This is the open end of the tube. D represents the inner diameter of the tube, and the distance between the open end and the position of antinode represents E, that is the end correction. Small l represents the length of the pipe. Capital L represents the corrected length of the air column. In this case, it is the distance between the node which is at the closed end to the adjacent antinode which is formed at the open end. Now antinode is formed slightly above the open end. In this diagram, this distance E is exaggerated so as to have a clear idea about the end correction and nothing else. Now here capital L is equal to small l plus e, where e is the end correction and is given by 0.3 times d, as we have discussed earlier. So capital L, that is the corrected length of the air column, is equal to small l plus 0.3 times d. In case of a pipe which is open at both the ends, antinodes are formed at both the open ends or near both the open ends. So here we have to consider the end correction twice. So capital L, that is the corrected length of air column, is equal to L plus twice E, that is equal to L plus twice 0.3 times D. Do you remember the production of longitudinal stationary waves and transverse stationary waves? I have shown you the slide just to revise, क्योंकि अगला सब हो जाता है याद अच्छा और पिछला सब भूल जाता है बच्चा. So this is a transverse stationary wave. Here you can see this is one wave and the interference of this one wave with the other gives rise to these two loops. So one wave, length of one wave is equal to lambda. Now nodes are formed at the two ends of the loop. The distance between any two consecutive nodes is equal to lambda by 2. And the distance between any two consecutive antinodes is also lambda by 2. And the distance between the adjacent node and antinode is equal to lambda by 4. So same is applicable for the longitudinal stationary waves, about which we are going to discuss in the mode of vibration of air column. First, we will discuss the modes of vibrations of air column in case of a pipe which is closed at one end. As you can see in the figure, we have considered a long cylindrical tube which is closed at one end. It consists of an air column with rigid boundary at one end. When a vibrating tuning fork, as you can see in the diagram, is held near the open end of the closed pipe, sound waves are sent by the tuning fork inside the tube. Now, sound waves are longitudinal in nature. So, longitudinal waves traveling along the pipe of this finite length are reflected at the ends, as transverse waves are reflected at the fixed ends of the string. Now, the phase of the reflected wave depends on whether the end of the pipe is open or closed. Now, here it is closed. The phase also depends on how wide or narrow the pipe is in comparison. It should be comparison here. By mistake it is printed as compansion. So in comparison to the wavelength of longitudinal wave. We have already discussed the reflection of longitudinal waves from a rigid support and an open end. Suppose compression is produced here. The compression travels through the pipe. It is reflected back as a compression from the rigid end. The reflected compression when reaches the open end, it is reflected as a rarefaction. If a rarefaction is produced here, it will be reflected as a rarefaction from the closed end, and at the open end, it is reflected as a compression. Now, in case of a pipe which is closed at one end, we know what are the boundary conditions. The node is formed at the closed end as there is least freedom for motion of air particles, and the antinodes are formed near the open end as the air particles are free to vibrate there. Now this diagram shows the first mode of vibrations of air column closed at one end. This is the simplest mode of vibration of the air column closed at one end, and it is known as the fundamental mode. Let us discuss the fundamental mode of vibration in details. As you can see in the figure, node is formed at the closed end, antinode at the open end. So here we have half a loop. Capital L represents the length of the air column, small l represents the length of the pipe, and E represents the end correction. Now we know that the distance between adjacent node and antinode is lambda by 4. Here lambda and n represents the wavelength and frequency of the wave in this fundamental mode of vibration of the air column. So capital L is equal to lambda by 4. Therefore lambda is equal to 4 times L. Now we know that velocity of sound is equal to V is equal to n lambda. So substitute the value of lambda here. We get V is equal to 4 into Nl. We'll rearrange the terms for the frequency, that is n, which is equal to V upon 4L. Let us substitute the value of the corrected length, that is capital L, in terms of small l and e. So we get n is equal to V upon 4 into bracket L plus E. Now this n is called as the fundamental frequency. It is the lowest frequency with which an air column vibrates in a pipe which is closed at one end. N is also called as the first harmonic. Now the figure shows the next mode of vibration of air column closed at one end. Now the same length of the air column is made to vibrate such that we get a node at the closed end, antinode at the open end, and one more node and antinode in between. Here N1 is the frequency and lambda 1 is the wavelength of wave in this mode of vibration of the air column. So in this mode of vibration of air column, we have one complete loop and one half loop. So the distance between any two consecutive nodes is half the wavelength. And the distance between the adjacent node and antinode is 1 by 4 times the wavelength. So this distance is equal to lambda 1 by 2 and this distance is equal to lambda 1 by 4. So L, that is the correct length of the air column, is lambda 1 by 2 plus lambda 1 by 4. That is equal to 3 by 4 times lambda 1. So L is equal to 3 by 4 times lambda 1. Therefore, lambda 1 is equal to 4 by 3 times L. In fundamental mode, the wavelength was 4 times L and here it is 4 by 3 times L. So the wavelength is decreasing. And let us see what happens to the frequency. We know that V is equal to N1 lambda 1. Substituting the value of lambda 1, we get V is equal to 4 by 3 times N1 into L. Rearranging the terms for N1, we get N1 is equal to 3V by 4L. So substitute the value of L, we'll get N1 is equal to 3V upon 4 into bracket L plus E. Now we know that the fundamental frequency is V by 4 times into bracket L plus E. And N1 is equal to 3 times V upon 4 into bracket L plus E. So N1 is 3 times the fundamental frequency. So we can write N1 is equal to 3N. So frequency is increasing in this case and wavelength is decreasing. N1 is the third harmonic or first overtone as it represents the first higher frequency than the fundamental frequency. The figure represents the next higher mode of vibration of air column closed at one end. Here the same length of the air column is made to vibrate such that we have a node at closed end, antinode at the open end and two more nodes and antinodes in between as you can see in the figure. Here N2 is the frequency and lambda 2 is the wavelength of the wave in this mode of vibrations in air column. So in this mode of vibration, as you can see in the diagram, we have two complete loops and one half loop. Now the distance between this node and this node is equal to one wavelength as this is a complete wave. And the distance between this node and this antinode is 1 by 4 times the wavelength. So the distance between this node and this node is lambda 2 and the distance between this node and this antinode is lambda 2 by 4. So L, that is the correct length of the air column, is lambda 2 plus lambda 2 by 4, that is equal to 5 by 4 times lambda 2. So L is equal to 5 by 4 times lambda 2. Therefore lambda 2 is equal to 4 by 5 times L. The wavelength in the previous case was 4 by 3 times L. So again it is less than the previous mode of vibration. Frequency is N2. So let's see what happens to the frequency. V is equal to N2 lambda 2 which is equal to 4 by 5 times N2 into L. We'll rearrange the terms for N2. We'll get N2 is equal to 5V upon 4L. Substitute the value of capital L. We'll get N2 is equal to 5V upon 4 into bracket L plus E. Again the fundamental frequency is V upon 4 times L plus E. And N2 is 5 into V upon 4 times L plus E. So this N2 is 5 times the fundamental frequency. So we can write N2 is equal to 5 into N or 5 times N. So frequency is increasing in this case. N2 is the fifth harmonic or second overtone. So So in case of a pipe which is closed at one end, we have first harmonic, third harmonic, fifth harmonic. The frequency of the first overtone is thrice n. The frequency of the second overtone is 5 times n. So the frequency of the third overtone will be 7 times n. So continuing in the similar way, for the pth overtone, what we can write as the frequency np is equal to twice p plus 1 times n, where p is an integer number starting from 1, 1, 2, 3 and so on. You cannot substitute p as 0 because there is no zeroth overtone, or if you substitute p is equal to 0, it will be the fundamental tone and not the overtone. So for a pipe closed at one end, as we have already seen, only odd harmonics are present and even harmonics are absent. Now let us discuss the vibrations of air column in a pipe open at both the ends. Here you can see the pipe which is open at both the ends. We know about the boundary conditions in this case. Antinodes are produced at both the ends. Now if a tuning fork is held near the open end, sound waves will be produced. Those sound waves will travel through the pipe. Now even though both the ends of the pipe are open, the air inside the pipe is still bound by the walls of the tube. So as a result, the air inside the pipe is little denser than the air outside the pipe. So when the waves travels from the other open end, there is a partial reflection at the open end. And these partially reflected waves, they will superimpose with the incident waves. So under suitable conditions, stationary waves will be formed. Here the longitudinal stationary waves are formed. We have already discussed the production of the longitudinal stationary waves and the reflection of longitudinal waves also. So there is a maximum freedom of air column at both the ends as the pipe is open at both the ends. Now suppose a compression is produced at the open end due to the tuning fork. It travels through the air column. As it reaches the other open end, it is reflected as a rarefaction. The rarefaction will again travel from the lower open end to the upper open end, and again it is reflected back as a compression. So here it suffers the second reflection at the open end near the source. So by the time this wave has traveled a distance equal to 1 and 2 times L, when again it is reflected at the open end, it interferes with another wave which is coming in by a path difference of 2L. So the interference gives rise to the stationary waves. Now we have to study the different modes of vibrations of the air column in a pipe which is open at both the ends. Now this figure shows the fundamental tone or fundamental mode of vibration of the air column for the pipe which is open at both the ends. So in this case, as we can see, we have a pair of half loop produced. Let us find the expression for the fundamental frequency for the pipe open at both the ends. Here you can see antinodes are formed at both the open ends. The length of the air column, capital L, is equal to the distance between these two antinodes. We know that the distance between two consecutive antinodes is equal to lambda by 2. So here L is equal to lambda by 2. So lambda is equal to twice L. V is equal to n lambda, which is equal to twice n into L. Therefore, n is equal to V upon 2L. Now we know that in case of a pipe which is open at both the ends, the corrected length is equal to length of the pipe plus twice the end correction. So let us substitute the value of L in terms of small l and E. We get V upon 2 into bracket L plus twice E. So this N is the fundamental frequency or the first harmonic. So it is the lowest possible frequency. And the next mode of vibration of air column, as you can see in the diagram, the same length of the air column is made to vibrate so as to produce one complete loop and two half loops. Or here you can say that we have two pairs of half loops here. The distance between any two consecutive antinodes is half the wavelength. Here lambda 1 represents the wavelength and n1 represents the frequency of the wave in this mode of vibration of air column. So the distance between these two antinodes is lambda 1 by 2 and the distance between these two antinodes is lambda 1 by 2. So the length of the air column L is equal to lambda 1 by 2 plus lambda 1 by 2, that is equal to lambda 1. So here L is equal to lambda 1. In the fundamental mode of vibration, the wavelength is twice L. So here you can see that the wavelength is decreasing. Let us see what happens to the frequency. Now V is equal to N1 lambda 1, which is equal to N1 into L. Rearranging the terms for N1, we'll get N1 is equal to V upon L, which is equal to V upon L plus twice E. We know that the fundamental frequency N is equal to V upon 2 into bracket L plus twice E, or half V upon L plus 2E. And here N1 is equal to V upon L plus 2E. So it is 2 times half V upon L plus 2E. So we can say that N1 is equal to twice the fundamental frequency, that is equal to 2N. So frequency is increasing and wavelength is decreasing as you are going from fundamental mode to the next mode of vibration. Here N1 is called as the second harmonic or the first overtone, as it is the first higher frequency than the fundamental frequency. In the next higher mode of vibration, we can see that the same length of the air column is made to vibrate so as to produce 2 complete loops and 2 half loops at 2 ends. Or here we can say that we have 3 pairs of half loops. The distance between these two antinodes, now here the antinode is produced, I forgot to write A here. The distance between these two consecutive antinodes is half the wavelength. Here lambda 2 is the wavelength and n2 is the frequency of the wave in this mode of vibration of air column. So the distance between these two antinodes is lambda 2 by 2. The distance between the next two consecutive antinodes is lambda 2 by 2 and the distance between these two antinodes is lambda 2 by 2. So L, that is the correct length of the air column, is lambda 2 by 2 plus lambda 2 by 2 plus lambda 2 by 2, that is equal to 3 by 2 times lambda 2. So L is equal to 3 by 2 times lambda 2, where lambda 2 is equal to 2 by 3 times L. P is equal to N2 lambda 2, which is equal to 2 by 3 times N2 into L. We'll rearrange the terms for N2 and we'll get N2 is equal to 3V upon 2L. Substitute the value of L here, we'll get N2 is equal to 3V upon 2 times into bracket L plus 2E. Again, fundamental frequency is half V upon L plus 2E and N2 is 3 times half V upon L plus 2E. So N2 is 3 times the fundamental frequency. So N2 is equal to 3N. Here N2 is the third harmonic or second overtone. So in case of pipe which is open at both the ends, we have seen that all harmonics are present. First, second, third, fourth and so on. So it is odd as well as even harmonics are present. The frequency of the first overtone is twice N. The frequency of the second overtone is 3 times N. The frequency of the third overtone is 4 times N and so on. So in general, for the pth overtone, we can write the frequency Np is equal to P plus 1 times N, where N is the fundamental frequency and P is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Here I have avoided 0 because if you put P is equal to 0, it will be the fundamental tone and not the overtone. Overtone always represents the higher frequencies than the fundamental frequencies. So overtones are always first overtone, second overtone, third overtone and so on. So we have discussed the modes of vibrations of air column in case of an open pipe and a pipe closed at one end. The sound produced by an open pipe contains all harmonics and the sound produced by a pipe closed at one end produces only odd harmonics. So the quality of sound produced by an open pipe is richer than that produced by a closed pipe. And this is the reason behind the difference in sweetness of sounds which we have heard in the beginning of this lecture. So the sound of flute is sweeter than that of clarinet, because in case of flute, it's an example of pipe open at both the ends, and clarinet is almost closed at one end. We have also discussed that the fundamental frequency of vibration of air column in an open pipe is double that of the fundamental frequency of vibration in a closed pipe of same length. So that is all about the modes of vibrations of air columns in an open pipe and in a pipe closed at one end. But lecture अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ मेरे दोस्तों. In part B of lecture 7, I have discussed some tricks to remember whatever we have discussed about the modes of vibration. So it is my suggestion to go for the part B of lecture 7 immediately after this part A of lecture 7. That will help you a lot. Thank you.